To understand how AVID has helped me, you must first understand the earliest parts of my life. To understand this part of my life, you must understand something about an old friend of mine. His name was Devin, and his life, by comparison, was far worse than mine. We first met when I gave him my lunch one day. This was the first meal he'd eaten in over a week. Quickly, we became friends for all the wrong reasons, the main one being our anger towards others. The origin of this anger can be best illustrated in one of my earliest memories. Imagine a dismal backyard with my stepbrother and stepsister looming over me, telling me, literally, "Do not call Tim, the man who raised me, Dad." Back then, it was like saying I wasn't part of the family. And though he raised me like a son, to this day, I still have problems calling him Dad. From this moment on, between the constant fighting and the difficulties in doing the simplest things, like eating at the dinner table, my anger at the animosity constantly surrounding me began to grow. The effect of this anger was isolation. I didn't even want to interact with my family. They were the ones who bullied me, hurt me, put me down, and made me dig myself into a hole of horrific thoughts of hurting those around me and pure anger. I spent 4 years digging myself into this hole until I had hit rock bottom, and I could dig no deeper. I was 10 years old, and I had no friends to turn to, until I met Devin, a homeless child only a year older than me, who was abandoned at the age of 3. Devin and I shared this hole of anger, and in fact, he's the only person who I could call a friend back then. Looking back, I never asked, and he never told me what dragged and chained him down, but I knew there was one major difference between us. He always wanted to leave that place, and I never cared. He always had a reason to fight, but he could not win his personal war. He committed suicide to find his way out. Devin always loved stories. His favorite stories were ones that actually happened, ones that I saw in everyday life. And the day after Devin died, I decided I would write him a story. I would write his story. But I knew that to write his story in the way that he would want, I would have to leave the place he never wanted to be. And I began to climb. I spent 3 full years climbing out of a godforsaken hole that I had dug myself into. And at the end of those 3 years, I looked around to find nothing. I found a desert of time and people that had no real meaning to me. I had no goals, no meaningful friendships, no real experiences. I spent a year in that nothing, continuing only to breathe. This was the point when AVID appeared on my horizon. It was a strange appearance. It sort of patted me on the back and gestured me forward, saying, "Let's find you a future." My immediate response was to fight and fight and fight some more. I thought, if I get straight A's, I won't need any advanced classes or people telling me how to organize my life. And after a semester of Mr. Challenger patiently wading through all the excuses, he brought me into AVID the second semester of my freshman year. Life immediately got better. I turned in all my work, got straight A's, got perfect binders, did perfect tutorials. And then I woke up because the bell rang. Honestly, though, I hated tutorials and binder checks and individual determination. But little by little, AVID began to work its magic. I started socializing more and bringing others out of their shell with what I can only describe as aggressive optimism. Now in my junior year, I realize how I've grown as a person and as an AVID family member. I actually enjoy tutorials and the chance to assist my peers. Work habits and study ethics aside, AVID's most important impact on me has been to change my view of people. Anger used to be my guiding emotion, but now I know how to be calm and happy. And I have no doubt that if I never joined AVID, if I was never pushed by teachers and friends and family, I would still be at the edge of that hole looking at a desert of life. Instead, I gaze upon a focused future, a clear path to college, a degree, and a rewarding career. Beside me stand people, teachers, friends, and family in this desert, willing to help me fight for the future I imagine. In closing, it is my conviction that there are three types of people in this world. There are those who will work for what they want, those who will not, and those who were never given the chance to. It has been my privilege to be a part of a program that gives the people the chance to achieve their college dreams. Thank you.